Artesia on the north shore of Lake Pontchartrain features the cuisine of John Besh. A native of Louisiana, he worked at Maxim's in New York and at the Windsor Court Hotel in New Orleans. He was named one of the best new chefs of 1999 by Food and Wine magazine. His appetizer is smoked foie gras. The chef begins by separating foie gras lobes and deveining.
I like simple preparations with the foie gras. It's a very rich product that lends itself to many complex preparations.
When completed, the foie gras is seasoned.
We use just a pinch of fresh grated nutmeg, a little crushed ground white peppercorns, kosher salt, I like to use my hands so that I can feel any remaining veins and remove them. And we'll marinate this with a nice Armagnac.
The chef prepares a stovetop smoker.
Pour it into a pie tin. I normally use a smoker setup, basically of any sort of hotel pan with applewood chips. Applewood, pecan, cherry, any sort of hardwood, fruitwood will work great. Then I place over that perforated pan, my foie gras, I'll cover that with foil and turn the burners on. What we're doing here is not necessarily cooking so much as we are imparting a flavor. And so it will cook momentarily. I wait for the first whiffs of smoke to appear, and then I'll turn the fire off. We'll still have a small flame, and we'll use the smoke from the smoldering chips. As we can see, it's starting to smoke now. I'll turn those off and allow this to smoke for 2 or 3 minutes.
Granny Smith apple halves are cored.
I don't want to slice the apples too thin, as I want them to be identifiable after we cook them. Apples, as you notice, the butter is beginning to brown, and this is exactly what we want. As this is cooking very vigorously, we'll add some granulated sugar and allow caramelization to really take place.
The foie gras is removed from the smoker, allowed to rest, then refrigerated. The chef says this should be done a day ahead.
Foie gras has a nice smoky flavor to it. At this point, we have a little color in the apples. I want to add a small amount of Madras curry, some ground ginger, and a little touch of salt.
Continue cooking in order to brown and toast the spices. Using a double layer of plastic wrap, the chef fashions a roulade out of the foie gras. It will be refrigerated.
We'll roll the foie gras in with the plastic and then refrigerate. Really giving the foie gras and all of the different flavors in the foie gras a chance to meld together. Now we'll add a little bit of rice wine vinegar. And that will add real sweet and sour complexity to the dish.
A slice of brioche is cut. It will be buttered and toasted in a sauté pan.
And if the brioche didn't have enough butter, we'll add a little more to get a good toasted crust on the brioche. Here you see the rich caramel. That coupled with the curried spices will add a beautiful complexity to the dish. We'll use the cutter. And at this time, we'll just remove these from the heat and allow them to cool to serve the foie gras. Once the apples have chilled, I use a small ring mold. A cutter, as you see here, will work fine. I use this to prepare a base for the foie gras. Slice a generous portion. I'll garnish with a fresh garlic chive blossom. This is a mixture of, this is just a reduction of balsamic vinegar. It adds a beautiful sweet and sour flavor to the dish. And sprinkle the foie gras with some coarse ground sea salt, some Gros Sète de Mer. And that's our terrine of Hudson Valley foie gras with Granny Smith apples, brioche, and balsamic vinegar.